So with Module 28, Juma got updated. To what extent? We have yet to find out. If you do check the collections, you can see he should drop this new Mischievous Quasit Twins. That including the Nebula Quasit crew. I did cover that in the Module 27 video where we opened a bunch of these, we managed to obtain it, and I showcased it there as well. You can check that out if you're interested. But now we will try to obtain this new one, see if it actually drops, and how many do we have to open in order to get it. So just checking Juma here, you can see the cost is still the same and you'll still be spending the same currency, these wild space doubloons. However, you can now at least get this currency while you're also getting the currency you need for the new campaign, because these mini bosses will drop 20 of these doubloons along with 20 of the pieces of 9 that you need for the Adventures in Wild Space campaign. I may very well cover just my strategy, how I kill those mini bosses pretty easily and get an absolute ton of this currency like we just did here. So now we have 30 of these Juma surprise bags. They claim to be able to drop like rare gear, companions, mounts, and vanity items. So I'm just going to copy this to the previous server many times, and we can see we have spent nearly the cap of 4,500 of this currency, which is quite a lot of grinding. That's over 225 mini bosses. So these really would have to drop some pretty good stuff to be worth it. So here we are, and let's begin. We can see they're still dropping the epic Dragon Hunter gear. So if you want any of that, I would just recommend, open Juma bags. You can, of course, purchase exactly what you want, I guess, from Dragon Slayer still, but you can at least get it for here without spending, say, 100,000 Astral Diamonds for that stuff. Unfortunately, however, most of it is just not worth it at all. We are indeed getting some mounts, some companions, and then like those potions with some rough Astral Diamonds here and there as well. We just open more of these, speed through it a bit quicker. We did obtain 3 genie gifts as well, which is decent. And we got a Never Ember Guard, which is not bad. All of these will be bound to your account. You will be able to move them between characters, which is nice, but you're not going to be selling any of these. So that's like our first 30 opened. We did not get it, but this is to be expected. This type of gear you get here, a lot of it, and just sell it for gold at this point. You probably don't need any of it. The potions as well, you'll sell for silver, and then you just get a few companions here and there and mounts that you can add to your collection. So I will keep switching character and opening more and more of these, and we'll see if we ever do actually obtain said new vanity pet. And there we go, we actually got it. We got the Mischievous Quasit Twins. So it does drop. We can see what that looks like then. Unfortunately, it's just bound to character straight up. You obtain it, bound to character. So you have to do this grind on the character you want this companion on. And there we go. We have them. Damn, they look pretty cool with their little tenicer discs. We don't have those discs as far as I know as mounts. And it's just going to be 2 of them. And they're going to follow you around like that. I'm going to dismiss my companion here as well so it doesn't get in the way. And they're pretty neat. But I do want to obtain the other companion again. I don't know what character has it, but you should be able to also still get him from Juma bags. They shouldn't have removed it, right? But here, I can confirm these Mischievous Quasit Twins do drop. And they do look really cool. So if you are farming to obtain it, well, you're in luck. It does drop. You just might be unlucky and have to open probably a few hundred. I only had to open like 60. I will open more just to see if we can obtain the other one. Maybe this new one replaced it, but I will just open them like really quickly, just in bulks of 10, and we can check our vanity inventory, and not getting it there. And yes, we did obtain the Nebula Quasit crew on this one. Again, bound to character still, unfortunately. And summoning this one gives you 3 Quasits. These ones are a little bit smaller. Yeah, definitely a bit smaller. And you can see them there. You get 3 of them spread out and on their little discs of different colors, which is also super cool. Really unique vanity pet having like multiple of them at once and then having those cool visuals. So yeah, both still drop from Juma, and they don't seem to be that bad a drop rate either. It's up to you which one you want to use, but they are pretty rare. You won't see them running around very often because, again, it's quite a grind. Kill over 225 of these mini bosses just to get 30 of those Juma bags, and we needed like 60, so yeah, you'd be killing like nearly 500 to 1,000 mini bosses probably to get these guys. Pretty low drop rates, but compared to coal modes, it's pretty high actually. It's just these days getting Juma bags is not cheap. 150 currency is not that easy to obtain in these newer zones. That's a ton of mini bosses, and heroics also only give a maximum of 20 on the majors, so you're just better off killing mini bosses. If you want, I can cover my exact routine with killing mini bosses, how I managed to kill over 200 so easily, because it only took me like a few hours. But ultimately, that's that. You can indeed obtain the new Mischievous Twins vanity pet. If you are listening, devs, I would highly appreciate an update to Juma that would add in the antiquated gear from your Demon Web Abyss hunts instead of all this Dragon Hunter stuff. This Dragon Hunter stuff is like even worse than just your stock seals gear. Like those bonuses are far outdated, that they're just not of any use for anybody. You just sell it all for gold. If you throw in this antiquated drow gear, you'll get some actual somewhat useful bonuses, like these arms with 7,500 crit strike. For some healers that can be useful. There was also some arms for like tanks which are going to give like awareness. They're very nice. These also have boots which are useful too, especially if the seals gear goes away. Like this one, health above 50%, 7,500 outgoing healing. Very nice as a starter gear piece for a healer. This one giving a boost to outgoing healing per player in your team. These boots for also being in a party getting outgoing healing and forte. There are actual useful bonuses from the antiquated drow gear rather than this Dragon Hunter stuff. And the antiquated drow gear is just terrible RNG to get that and to actually get what you want. So it would make sense to add them to Juma and then be able to get your collection via that way instead of running hundreds and hundreds of abyss hunts. I would also appreciate switching out these potions that, again, nobody is going to use. There's just far better stuff. It would be nice for it to actually drop some food we do use, like Flask of Potencies, watermelon, squash soup, even elixirs, maybe even the version of guild food that you find in Demon Web Pit Zone that you would purchase with that campaign currency. That would be very nice to have here, instead of, again, just filler that you're just selling for silver. There's no point in it. Juma needs a little bit of an update, especially these days that the currency is a lot harder to obtain compared to how it was with Chaotic Writings in Valenhas. You would just do like basically one heroic encounter and be able to buy one Juma bag. And then in ×2 currency, you're doing one heroic encounter and buying 2 Juma bags. I'm talking about insurgencies, but they're basically heroic encounters. You were getting an absolute ton more currency in those zones versus what we are now. You're getting like 100 per major heroic and 50 per minor. Now we're down to 20 per major and 10 per minor. That's just craziness. And then you've gone and made Juma still be 150 of that currency, which just means you're getting an absolute ton less of his bags, which just for the time to get the currency, it's just not worth it. The only time it would be is if you're chasing collections and want to get your hands on those 2 new vanity pets. That would be the only reason. But that's enough said. Hopefully at least something gets listened to and updated in the future with him. But for now, I just would skip. Don't bother with him unless you want the vanity pets. Once again, a massive thank you to all of these channel members for your added support. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.